My favorite moment. Oh my gosh. There were so many. I mean, like, I loved Up North. The whole experience of being at Sudbury, even just like being at your house, not even doing the filming, like the quadding and the shooting the guns, like that was an amazing experience in itself, and I'll never forget that. So that was, I mean, definitely top
Least
there.
favorite.
Least
If you
favorite?
had to pick something that you would have changed.
The mud scene.
Pardon?
The mud scene where I'm swimming in the mud.
Yeah, that's fair.
I didn't expect it to be as muddy as it was. Honestly, I jumped in expecting it to be shallow, and then when I just like sank into like gray mud, I'm like, where am I right now?
And then I felt bad, so I'm like, I'm gonna go in there too in my shoes.
I did that too.
Yeah.
Don't forget.
Yeah.
That's true. But I'm just like, this is. I know it's not the nicest experience for anybody.
And then we're like trying to like be all playful and like flirty and stuff like that, and it's like there's mud everywhere.
That is a low point. I wish we could have done it differently, but if that's the low point in a student film,
Yeah.
or not a student film, but a low budget film, then that's okay.
Mm-hmm. What was your favorite moments?
You go first.
Dun,
'cause
dun,
I have to
dun.
collect my thoughts. What your favorite and least favorite?
Yeah.
I really like the tent scene just because I love exploding things, and that was a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. The least favorite. I mean, it's mostly the amount of work involved, I think, on the first day where we were out with the tents and all that stuff. It was a lot of walking, a lot of back and forth, and you know, the things that get forgotten. You have to send people out to go get certain things for filming and all that. So there's a lot of to do with that. I'm glad we were as well supported as we were, because that would have been very difficult should we not have had Justin or somebody.
Well, I mean, that was a variable because we've been in situations where we forgot equipment or stuff like that. So having the extra hand and trying to account for everything, basically bringing everything but the kitchen sink, including a toilet.
Yeah.
Right? Don't forget, we brought a toilet.
Yep.
Even if we didn't need it, I'm not going to screw up. It is better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it.
True that.
And we did that fairly well.
Yep.
But no, that's a very realistic negative. My favorite moment was every time we yelled action.
Yes.
Because to this day, I will say that it is such a weird experience to see stuff that you have written, that you have curated and changed and edited over time, and then see it play out in front of you. Even if it is just a corporate video where somebody's saying just corporate dialogue, or a movie where you see people interacting, you're like, hey, I wrote that. See that right? That worked. That's addicting. It's a weird addicting. It is a high. It is a drug in my mind, and it's a weird high to chase because there's a whole lot of work before you get that high.
I thought it was again, never having acted before, when you say action, going from my 27-year-old self to a 19-year-old person like that, it was very, or even like being shocked. Thank God that when that boulder fell, you like, I can't even remember what you did. You like slapped your hands or you did something, and we were like, oh
I yelled.
my God.
Like I said, okay, when I react, and I yelled, bang, action. Bam! Like it was loud, but it worked.
It worked.
You had to do that, and directors throughout every movie have done that. In Psycho, when you see the knife going into the actress, Hitchcock had the knife in his hands, like he was directing that. In Jurassic Park, when they first see the raptors in the raptor unit, and they're making all the noises that are eating the cow, on set, Steven Spielberg was the one making the noises for them to react to. So you control stuff like that. And that, to me, that's really important. And also getting down into the nitty-gritty. So going into the water, or making sure that we are there as a team for the actors. So you guys had to get in the water, so we got in the water to prove that.
You always said whatever we were doing, you guys were doing too. You were not going to put us in a situation that you weren't going to do something.
The one thing I wouldn't do that you did, clam chowder. I wouldn't do that.
Oh, you know what? I honestly was okay with it, because at the beginning I'm like, oh yeah, like throughout the day, like this isn't going to be so bad. And then it was like 6 hours later, and it sat in that container all day, and I'm like, God.
For the audience, clam
We'll
chowder.
show it. Yeah.
Yeah, well, clam chowder is a useful tool for the simulation of vomit.
Yes.
Just get it this time.
Shut up. In your mouth. Oh. You good? Action.
Yeah.
And yeah, and it makes you really feel like you are going to vomit.
Oh, yeah. No, I could empathize with that quite strongly.
And just like sitting it, holding it in my mouth, like waiting for you to say action. I'm like, dear God, hurry! My eyes are watering so bad.
Right, and that's the malicious side of me where I might have taken, okay, light, okay, rolling, sound, speed, action. No, least favorite, the end. Like, it's cliche to say, but we were fighting to finish the movie for a month, and the last big shot that we did was the tent. We did some stuff the Sunday before we left with the drone and the cliff and whatnot. Actually, we filmed.
That morning, you guys, before we left, you guys went out with the drone, didn't you?
No, we shot with Matt and Leah and you, or Matt and Leah falling down the cliff the morning, and then we did the green screen with Matt falling, which never got used because it didn't look good. And they did the fireworks, and then the Sunday morning before we left, we went out with the drone. As soon as that was done, I was like, what the hell do I do tomorrow?